Welcome to Flash Tutorial 83, Halloween Hunt. This is a beginner's tutorial. You should know how to use the basic drawing tools. I'm going to start by opening a new FLA. Action script 3, making the stage 700 by 550, I believe. Pressing OK. I'm going to make the stage fit the window. There it is there. And the first thing I'm going to do is make a sky. Now, to save time, I've already drawn it, so there's my sky. And I'll just show you quickly how I did that. I want to make sure that's right up to the top. I'm going to lock that layer, and I'm going to show you on another layer how I basically did that. I'm just hiding that. I made a rectangle. No fill, no stroke. So click that there and click here, no stroke. Remember, this is a beginner's tutorial, and it doesn't matter what you have here. It doesn't matter at all right now. And select that corner and go down about, somewhere around 4/5 of the page, 2/3 of the page, somewhere down there where your sky might be. Highlight it and open the properties panel and make sure the width is 700. And that means it should fit that, cover that stage, and I can see I can make it go to the right a little bit. There. So let's highlight this. Open up this color panel. Go up here, this drop down menu, linear gradient. And it doesn't matter what's going on here at all right now. Double click on this little swab, little house here, and pick the darkest color you want your sky to be, and look up here. You can sometimes get a better view. So that's going to be my darkest of my sky, and click down here, double click, and make this your lightest. So I'm going to pick those. Oh, no, I don't like that too much. I'm just showing you anyway. Picking that orange, and if I move this, watch this as I move this. That's pretty well the same color. It's not doing a whole lot. Put some yellow in it. There we go. You see that? And if I move this, I can change where this red is. Can you see that? All right. Close this panel. Now come over here. This little corner. Click here. Do the gradient tool. Now I want to put this down to 50% so I can see it. Grab this, see how I got all those circles, and rotate it. Rotate it until you get this even line, and there's my sky. That's basically how I made that sky. So I'm going to delete that one and pick the one that I made, and you can play around with that. Lock that sky layer if it isn't locked. Open up a layer, call it ground, G-R-O-U-N-D. Select frame 1, pick up your pencil tool, and draw a, actually let's do it with the rectangle tool. Pick up the rectangle tool, have black for your stroke, and have black for your fill. And make a rectangle right in here somewhere. Highlight it and make sure its width is 700. And I'm happy with that. Now pick up this selection tool, and if you go very carefully, you can see how that arch forms there. and here a little square, so I'm going to take that square and raise it like this a little bit, and I'm going to put an arch in here like that, and pull this one back down in here a little bit, and I'm going to play around with that till I got the shape something like that. And I want that overall to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to highlight it. This is for me. Clicking here and getting what's called the free transform tool. I'll know it's a free transform tool because I got these squares, and I'm just going to drop it down like that a little bit. That's going to be my ground. Lock that layer. Make sure those two layers are locked. Select the ground layer. Insert a layer. Call it tree, T-R-E-E 1. And draw a tree. And again, to save time, I'm going to just paste one in. And there's my tree. And you can see it's relatively big. Yeah, I'm going to select that tree. And I'm just going to move my ground up a little bit again. Okay. Now, click on that tree, get your selection tool, highlight it, right click, copy it. Instead of making two of them, just copy it. Lock that layer, insert a layer, call it tree 2. Now, remember I'm doing this for beginners. Select frame 1, right click, paste in place, drag it over. While it's still selected, go up to modify, transform, and flip horizontally so it looks like it's a different type of tree, or at least in a different direction. Put that down here somewhere. Now you can play around with these as much as you wish. Select that top layer, insert a layer, call it house, H-O-U-S-E, and somewhere draw yourself a house. There's my house. So there's my basic scene. Oh yeah, I want a moon. Make sure all the layers are locked. Insert a layer. Call it moon. M-O-O-N. Put your moon here. And make sure that the moon is behind the house. And how do you do that? Put the house layer, click on it, drag it up, and that puts the moon behind the house. My basic layout for this Halloween hunt. Lock all the layers. Select the trees layer. Insert a layer. Call it grave, G-R-A-V-E, graves, S. Select that frame 1, and down here draw a grave. Now you see how that's there? That's because it's under the house. So click on that layer, grave layer, and bring it up. Put it on top of the house. Want one there. Right click, copy that. Right click, paste in place. Just drag it over here and put it down there a little bit. And right click, paste again. There's another one. Drag it down here. And I'm going to do a close-up for a minute. Go up here, pick up this free transform tool, and get on that edge and push it that way a little bit. On that one. And let's do the same with this one. There. Zoom back out to 50%. Lock all layers. Select the graves layer. Insert a layer. Call it ghost. G-H-O-S-T 1. Select frame 1. And draw yourself a ghost. Again, save time. Here's my ghost, and he's a little bigger than what I want. So again, selecting with the free transform tool, holding the shift button down, I'm getting that till I got that angled 2 arrows, and I'm making my ghost small enough that he can hide behind these. I'm going to make him just a little bit smaller. There he is. And I'm going to get my selection tool, move that ghost off stage here. That's ghost 1. Actually, I'm going to put him behind this gravestone. Right now he's not because of where we have him. We have him on the top, but I want him there on purpose right now. Make sure he's highlighted. Come up here to modify. Convert it to a symbol. Make sure a movie clip is selected and call it Ghost1, Ghost 1 _ MC, and copy that. Close this. Open this properties panel. There's the movie clip. It's an instance of, and let's give it an instance name by pasting that in. Ghost 1, and we need that because we're going to write code on it. So now if we double click on this ghost, we're now inside the movie clip. If that didn't work for you, you obviously don't have it selected. Make sure you have this layer unlocked, the ghost 1 layer. Make sure you're selecting frame 1, your selection tool, highlight it, double click on it, and now we're inside that movie clip. Call this layer Ghost, Ghost. Lock it for now, for this right now. Insert a layer, call it Path, Path. Pick up your pencil tool. Make sure you have black for your pencil tool. And let's draw a path. Start where that cross here, X is in here. Draw a path to bring that ghost up and out and around and have him come back down into this one. Okay. And let's have him do that for 70 frames. So click on the 70 and drag it down. Right click, insert keyframes. So 2 things have taken place. We've brought that line all the way up to the 70th frame, and we brought the ghost up to the 70th frame. Come over here. You can lock that path layer now. Double click on this little, looks like a page turned. Click on guide. OK. And you'll see a little, that's like a square. Click on the ghost layer and bring it up to the right, and you'll see this turns to dots, and you'll see how this indented. That means now that this ghost is going to follow that path. So let's go back to frame 1 for a minute. Unlock the ghost layer, select frame 1. Now let's make this 100%. And I'm going to pick up my selection tool, and I'm going to highlight the ghost, get those crosshairs, and just move it. Can you see there's a little dot when I move it? See a little dot up on top there? That dot is what's going to track this for us. So I want to make sure that little dot is somewhere on that line. And that looks good to me. Go up here to this frame 70. Again, highlight this, click on it, the dot. Now, where are we going to go to? We're going to go to over here, the other end of that line. Drag it, there's the dot down there, and put it there. Click anywhere in here, right click, classic tween, and if you pan this, you can see the ghost is going to follow that. And if I look at it, he followed that line. Now sometimes you have to play around to make these work. So let's go back to scene 1. There's our ghost on scene 1. Let's test this movie. Ghost is flying around and comes back down in there. I'm back on scene 1. I'm going to do another ghost with you. We're going to lock this layer, insert a layer, call it Ghost 2. G-H-O-S-T 2. Lock it. Open the library panel for a minute. Double click on this Ghost movie clip. Make sure frame 1 is selected. And double click on this till we get down to right down to where you see this. It says Ghost movie clip tween. Right click, copy. So the only thing we're copying is this ghost. Back to scene 1. Unlock layer 2. Select frame 1. And let's put this guy behind the middle. Oops. Right here, right click. Paste. There it is. If you can't find it, just go to the smaller size and you'll eventually find it. Drag this ghost in behind this one. While it's highlighted, modify, convert it to a symbol. And remember, I'm doing this for beginners. G-H-O-S-T 2 underscore MC. Copy this. OK. And paste it in here for an instance name. And we could have used the same instance over and over, but it's for beginners and I don't want to make it complicated at all. So now, while this frame is still selected, we're going to go inside this movie clip, double click, and we're inside this ghost movie clip. Let's make this 50%. And let's go this time up to about 100 frames. Insert a keyframe. Call this Ghost, G-H-O-S-T. Lock it. Go back to frame 1. Insert another layer, call it Path, P-A-T-H. Select frame 1. Pick up your pencil tool. Make sure black is selected. And let's have this guy come out the top. Go all the way around and hide down behind this one. And click this last one, right click, convert it to a keyframe. Okay. Let's click on the ghost layer, unlock the ghost layer. He's there at scene 1, frame 1. Pick your selection tool. And let's get a little closer on that. Actually, let's make this a path first. Lock all the layers. Double click on this. Make it a guide. OK. Click the layer. Drag it up. Unlock that ghost layer. Select frame 1. Pick up selection tool. Let's get a little closer. 200%. And let's move that. See that little black dot? It's right there. This one's a good example. The last one wasn't as good. Let's go back to 50% and all the way up to this last frame. Click on your ghost, drag them over. I'm going to make it 100% again. Click on them, drag it up. See that little black dot? That's the dot you want to line up to the line. It's on the line. Come up to here on this layer, make it a classic tween, and that's working. Control, test movie, test. We have that going on. There's going to be a follow-up tutorial. It'll be Flash Tutorial 84, Halloween Hunt Part 2. If you plan on doing that, make sure you save this FLA. I hope you learned something from this tutorial, and I hope you use what you learned.